This is ABC 15 Arizona at 10.
Accused of luring teens on Snapchat, first at 10, Gilbert police arresting a man suspected of taking advantage of kids on the popular social media app.
It serves as a warning to all parents tonight when it comes to their kids' online activity. Here's ABC 15's Jordan Bonke.
You're looking for more victims tonight.
We are. Gilbert police arresting this 18-year-old on Thursday, Jordan Zambrano of Santan Valley. He's accused of pretending to be a woman on Snapchat. And then police say he would use nude female stock photos to lure in male teens and get them to send sexually explicit pictures. We're told Zambrano would then blackmail the teens to get even more photos.
He threatens to out them at their school. A lot of these juvenile victims told him what school they go to. Additionally, to send the photos and videos to social media friends and things like that.
It's known as sextortation.
Ken Colburn with Data Doctor sent us a short list of software that allows parents to remotely access their child's phone to monitor activity. He says most web watching software isn't free, but it's well worth it. And there's more options for Android users. Colburn says a key to knowing your child is safe online is keeping open communication.
The monitoring tools are only useful if you have a good relationship with the child. Because if there's a bad relationship, they can just keep resetting the phone.
Colburn gives 2 ways to know if a person online is actually who they say they are. Look to see if that profile is new or they have little interaction online, or you could take that profile photo and put it into Google Images to see if it's a stock photo.
Sex crimes and things like this are so vastly underreported.
Gilbert police hope by sharing this case publicly, more victims come forward. Jordan Bonke, ABC 15, Arizona.
1 year ago, the halls of democracy threatened as a group backing then-President Trump attacked the U.S. Capitol, trying to stop the certification of the 2020 election.
And ultimately, democracy prevailed, with Vice President and Congress certifying the election for President Joe Biden.
Tonight, 1 year later, candles are in place of the chaos, but the investigation into the attack still far from over. More than 700 people have been charged for their alleged roles on January 6th, including several Arizonans, the most notable the self-proclaimed QAnon shaman, Jacob Chansley. He's now serving 42 months in prison. Also, Tim Giannett, an extremist known as Baked Alaska. He's been charged. Prosecutors say he live-streamed himself inside the Capitol. And Olympian Cleet Keller, caught on camera wearing his Team USA jacket in the crowd. He pleaded guilty to a federal felony charge, but has not been sentenced. Arizona lawmakers on Capitol Hill reflecting on that day. Democratic Congressman Ruben Gallego telling us he spent the day talking with colleagues and praying for the nation. The congressman says one of the lessons he learned that day is the true power of words.
Whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, before you start accusing somebody of stealing a vote, make sure you understand that you really are not just causing a problem now. You're probably causing a problem in the future.
A much different view from Republicans. Congresswoman Debbie Lesko says the lesson she learned from the attack was how unprotected the Capitol is. Lesko blaming Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Capitol Police for that.
There's one question that remains about January 6th, 1 year out from its anniversary. Why was the Capitol so unprepared and unsecured, and what can we do to fix it?
2 Arizona congressmen, Republicans Andy Biggs and Paul Gosar, were implicated in the planning of the January 6th protest. Both deny it.
Some new video tonight from the Arizona State Capitol, where we saw various groups with a wide range of opinions marking the day. Things remaining calm tonight, but the concern is when opinions turn extreme. From Washington to Arizona, our Faye Frederick shows us the changing tactics to fight domestic extremism.
1 year later, if there's any question about just how divided America remains, look no further than the reaction to the January 6th anniversary.
Those who stormed this Capitol, and those who instigated and incited, and those who called on them to do so, held a dagger at the throat of America.
I mean, this is their Christmas, January 6th, okay? They are going to take this and milk this for anything they could to try to be able to smear anyone who ever supported Donald Trump.
But when words and ideas turn to violence, like on January 6th, the ugliness of extremism goes on full display. We asked Valley political consultant Emily Ryan, where are we now, 1 year later?
I think that same level of extremism that we saw a year ago still lies just beneath the surface in the American psyche.
University of Chicago researchers dug into the background of the suspects arrested that day, finding an older, more educated, and more economically stable group compared to other right-wing violent offenders arrested in recent years. Ryan says some of it is based on how political campaigns are now run.
I think that, there was a day when politicians campaigned on accomplishments, and that has been gone for more than a decade. And now everyone campaigns on catastrophe, and it's a rewarding thing to campaign on, but it doesn't bring the country together.
Extremism researchers at American University say no amount of social media deplatforming will get us out of this situation, telling NPR people need the skills and ability to recognize propaganda when they see it. Ryan says our country could also really use a collective win. On COVID, inflation, gas prices, supply chain issues, success at anything big could go a long way in bringing Americans together. Faye Fredericks, ABC 15, Arizona.
Our coverage continues online. You can see President Biden's address to the nation and the response from other politicians right now on abc15.com.
To COVID now and COVID in our schools. Tonight was supposed to be the first update to Maricopa County's COVID school dashboard since classes resumed after the holidays. But ABC 15 learning that update is on hold. The county needs more time to process the numbers, and that could be because cases are on the rise. Meantime, Arizona teachers are struggling to cover classes as the cases rise, with more teachers forced to stay home due to illness or exposure.
We're pulling all of our aides and interventionists, our assistant principal, if you have one, your specials teachers, just trying to have enough bodies in the room to keep kids safe and learning.
Teachers tell us all of that inconsistency can impact students and learning. But tonight, hope for a Valley woman who's tried everything. So Trovimab is the only antibody treatment that researchers say works against the Omicron variant. It's not always easy to find, but here in the Valley, doctors are administering it. And new tonight, our Christine Stanwood speaking with a Mesa woman receiving the treatment and her doctor who was able to get his hands on it.
Shortness of breath, coughing, and chills. I haven't had a fever during this whole time, so I'm sorry.
This week, 58-year-old Deborah Carroll and her family all tested positive for COVID.
And I'm vaccinated. I got my flu vaccination. I got both the injections plus the booster. And, thank goodness I've gotten it because I think I would have been worse. I am asthmatic and also have diabetes.
By her doctor's point of view, she has done everything right.
But her immune system doesn't work as perfectly as we would hope. So that's part of the reason we're giving her the monoclonal antibodies, is to help to supplement her health and also to supplement her immune system.
The treatment Deborah is receiving Thursday.
So we were fortunate enough last week to get an allotment of Trovimab, which is the only monoclonal antibody therapy that's effective against the Omicron variant.
Dr. Andrew Carroll, a family medicine specialist, says the treatment is hard to come by.
Unfortunately, we're not able to deliver to the public currently. If I could get many, many more doses, I could probably set up more rooms to do infusions.
Dr. Carroll is only able to give Trovimab to his patients who are infected and at high risk because their supply from the Arizona Department of Health is so limited. He tells us he's already asked for more supply. Now, as for Deborah, she considers herself one of the lucky patients.
I find it very important. I'll tell you, I don't know what I'd do right now without him. And for him to be able to get it in and the CDC allow him to be able to get it in and administer in his office so there's not more people going to the hospital is phenomenal. So thank you.
Reporting in Phoenix, Christine Stanwood, ABC 15, Arizona.
ABC 15 also reaching out to our big hospital systems, asking if they're providing this specific antibody treatment. We got a list of their responses posted with this story on abc15.com.
All new at 10, trash troubles in a Valley community. Neighbors sounding the alarm, saying junk constantly piles up in their alleyways. One item recently discovered, a box full of medical records. This is in North Phoenix near 24th Street and Cactus. We spoke with one couple who tells us they routinely clean up the alley, picking up the trash. And during their latest check, the husband says he found this box containing the medical records of patients, including sensitive information like Social Security numbers.
And I says, man, that looks like medical records. I took a picture of it. I showed it to my wife. She says, yeah, medical records.
The couple says they scooped it up, worried what would happen if the box ended up in the wrong hands. They called police, who later showed up while we were right there on scene. As you can see, they removed the box, saying they'll be holding it as evidence until they investigate further. It's unclear tonight exactly where that box came from in the first place.
Developing tonight, tracking down people who fire gunshots into the air. Glendale police releasing some new body camera video. Officers responding to a scene over New Year's Eve weekend when they heard unrelated gunshots. Officers then checking their Spot Shotter app.
It's showing 10 rounds, showing northeast corner building right there around the corner.
One officer directing another over the radio using the app. Just blocks away, Glendale police arresting one man. A gun and several shell casings were found at the scene.
Now, a live look at Sky Harbor, where in just hours, some security checkpoints will shut down. What's behind the change and what it means for your travel plans.
Feeling pressured into spending thousands of dollars. All new at 10, the Let Joe Know team takes action for a Valley senior accusing a store of targeting her.
Veterans helping veterans. Tonight, the unique way one community is coming together right here in Arizona.
Tracking tomorrow, and a big headline at Sky Harbor Airport. A pair of security checkpoints closing down just 6 hours from now.
Yeah, the impact of COVID-19 getting the blame on this one. ABC 15's Venton Blandon live at Terminal 4.
And Venton, the airport warning of increased wait times going forward here.
Yes, Steve and Katie, and we were told that non-TSA passengers coming to this gate and another could have to wait up to 30 minutes starting tomorrow morning when the number of security gates here goes from 4 to 2. Check out these signs right here, put in place a short time ago, alerting those passengers to the change. Of course, all of this is being done because of staffing shortages.
Phoenix Sky Harbor has made the usual headlines in recent weeks for holiday-related delays and cancellations, but now a new headache.
The shortage of workers and the way things are, it's just in general, whether it's at the airport or restaurants, it's just a different time right now.
Sky Harbor and the TSA releasing a joint statement that says starting at 4 Friday morning, the B and D checkpoints in Terminal 4 will be closed. The A and C checkpoints will remain open.
I mean, today it's really dead, so I think it's going to be fast, but who knows when they shut the gate.
For TSA pre-check passengers, the line should still move pretty quickly, but airport officials say for everyone else, the closures could mean a half-hour wait. Chris Blaylock is flying to Atlanta.
It affects us as travelers. It affects, well, obviously the workers, but this can amount to a very large problem, and it also hurts airlines.
Connie Michaelis is reminding all passengers to think ahead.
People better come early. I mean, we have to do our part too.
Now, we are told the closures for the B and D gates are not permanent, but no end date was given. Now, we're also tracking some cancellation and delays right now. So I can tell you so far tonight, we have about 80 flights that were either to or from this airport affected. Tonight, reporting live inside Sky Harbor, Vincent Blandon, ABC 15 Arizona.
Turn over records or pay $50,000 a day. That's the message from a judge to Cyber Ninjas, the contractor that led the Arizona Republicans' review of the 2020 election. The judge found Cyber Ninjas in contempt for failing to turn over documents, which 2 Maricopa County judges and the State Court of Appeals have ruled are public record. A lawyer for Cyber Ninjas now says the company is shutting down and has laid off all employees, including former CEO Doug Logan. Training to keep you safe at festivals and events. Scottsdale firefighters adding 10 new people to their bike unit. The team helps patrol special events like the Phoenix Open and Barrett-Jackson auction, providing mobile medical support. The bike team now has more than 50 members and 20 bikes.
Body moisturizers, facial serums, eye creams, the anti-aging products and services have become a multi-billion-dollar industry here in the U.S. But now it's how those products are sold that has one Valley senior saying she was targeted by a local business, pressured into buying expensive beauty products that left her thousands in debt. All new tonight, our Let Joe Know team on how it could happen and why so many of us should be concerned.
They're supposed to make your life better. Instead, this woman says after buying these beauty products at a Valley store, she feels devastated.
It's just tearing me apart. And I've never been like this, ever.
Letty is 79 and was walking through a local mall when she says she was approached by a salesman demonstrating a beauty cream.
I was in a really sad place, so I allowed him to demonstrate for me.
Her daughter had just died in a car accident. She bought the creams as a one-time expensive treat.
He told me that they would be calling me later to set up for a facial.
Letty says she was led to a sister store twice, Royal B Old Town in Scottsdale. Free facials, instructions, expert advice. She says they were lures to sell her hard, especially the last time.
I got pressured.
Inside, she says a salesperson pushed products for hours. Letty says she felt manipulated and vulnerable, that she broke down crying, but says the intense pressure didn't stop.
I probably said no at least 50 or 60 times, at least.
She says saying no just brought a better deal, a lower payment plan. She says after hours and feeling exhausted, she gave in to get out.
There's no way they should allow it to keep going when you're saying, no, I don't want it, I don't want it.
Over 1 month, the 79-year-old ended up with bags of products, stem cell moisturizers, serums, a light treatment. In all, this woman who lives mostly on Social Security spent more than $25,000.
I'm so upset with myself. I'm ashamed.
Why didn't Letty walk out? Just leave? Well, even she has a hard time explaining that. In a complaint to the Attorney General, Letty says she was hammered with constant hard sale, flattery, and sympathy, but was trained to be nice. She says with all of that, in a small room, she wasn't thinking clearly.
For me to sit there like I was hypnotized or whatever is something I cannot understand. I cannot understand it.
So these kinds of stories don't shock you?
Not at all.
Dr. Amit Shah works with the Mayo Clinic specializing in geriatric medicine and says advance the clock, mix in recent trauma, high pressure.
And with the right kind of cognitive changes, we would all be in that same sort of situation.
Shaw isn't talking specifically about Letty, but says as the brain ages, it's more difficult to make decisions quickly.
And this becomes even bigger and more important as you get older.
We went to Royal B's Scottsdale location.
Yeah, I'm Joe Ducey with ABC 15.
Letty tried bringing back all of her unopened products. The business said that was against their policy.
She wants her money back.
In an email, the owner of Perfect Products, Inc., doing business as Royal B Old Town, said they do offer exchanges, and their no refund policy is explained and in writing on every receipt. By phone, I asked him about pushing customers who repeatedly say no.
Should your salespeople stop?
He says salespeople can offer better deals, and they don't sell products to people who don't want them. The owner had offered a $5,300 refund. Letty declined. When I asked for more, he said he'd consider a pressure refund, not explaining what that meant. But it's hopeful news for Letty, who at 79 is considering going back to work.
I cannot afford it.
The owner nearly doubled his refund offer to $10,000. Letty wanted $20,000. The business declined. Dr. Shaw says if you do have a senior in your life, let him know you're there for big money decisions. I'm investigator Joe Ducey. If you got a problem, let me know.
Tonight, veterans helping veterans by bonding through motorcycles. The program, called Trenches to Wrenches, is part of the nonprofit Operation Restoring Veteran Hope. It's created to help veterans in need gain a sense of community and purpose after serving. They host retreats and workshops across Arizona.
Open and ready to show off how you can check out the new massive sports complex in the Valley for free.
Happening tomorrow, you can get a look at Mesa's new 320-acre sports and entertainment complex. It's called Bell Bank Park near Ellsworth and Pecos. It's hosting a free community open house. Goes on from 3 until 9. You can check out the park, play games, enjoy music, and plenty of family activities.
Phoenix is looking for the next generation of farmers. People 18 to 24 can apply for the Urban Agriculture Fellowship and get paid $15 an hour to work part-time on a local farm for a year. You get hands-on experience. Farmers get much needed help. We put a link to apply online at abc15.com.
All right, well, let's take a look at your forecast now. I'm Chief Meteorologist Amber Sellens, and we're tracking potentially our first 70s of the year tomorrow. Phoenix going up to 71 around 3 p.m. That's going to put us about 5 degrees above normal for this time of year. Still off to a chilly start, though. Lows in the 40s, and with that cold air in place, we are going to see pollution settle down again at the ground, and it's going to take us a while to get rid of it and kind of lift that haze out tomorrow. But air quality early on looking unhealthy for those of us with asthma or COPD. Limit your time outside, or you may have difficulty breathing. Other symptoms to watch out for: if pollution is high, you may feel some burning in your nose or in your throat, or possibly even in your lungs. Now, as we take a look at the forecast tomorrow, it looks like we're going to see 70 or 71 in the afternoon across most of the valley, the entire East Valley anyway. Spots farther to the north and some of the higher terrain locations will be in the mid to upper 60s. So that includes Carefree, Cave Creek, Anthem, and New River. But again, the rest of us in those low 70s after that early morning start in the 40s. Up north, fewer freezes, but we still have them in there. Along the rim, northeast of the Four Corners, all these spots in the 20s tonight. Prescott briefly freezing at 32 degrees and a high there tomorrow of 59. Payson also at 59. 70s here in the valley and down south into Tucson. Tucson's actually probably going to be the warmest spot across the state tomorrow at 74 degrees. And we're going to pick up some breezes across northern Arizona too. So along the I-40 corridor and along the rim, winds at about 10 to 20 miles per hour, gust at 25. They will lighten up a bit after sunset tomorrow evening, but a few breezes here and there still possible into the late night hours too. Low pressure is approaching, so this is the change maker as we head into the weekend. For central and southern Arizona, a lot more cloud coverage coming our way. For northeastern Arizona, up near the Four Corners, slight chance of some spotty showers as that low clips by. High pressure builds in next, so a little bit warmer to start next week, but it's not going to last long because another area of low pressure is going to be forming offshore here and pumping some moisture our way. So a lot more cloud coverage as we head into Tuesday. Maybe a few spotty showers Tuesday into Wednesday. And then another storm system coming in from the west and keeping the rain chances going into Thursday here in the valley. So there's slight chances right now, 10 to 20%, but they will start on Tuesday, continue through the middle to end of next week, and temperatures will drop just a little bit as those rain chances come into play.
A cute costume that caught the attention of the Queen, the royal response to a toddler tonight.
This is ABC 15 Arizona at 10.
The Phoenix Suns hosting the LA Clippers at Footprint Center tonight. DeAndre Ayton, Jay Crowder, and JaVale McGee have all cleared the NBA's health and safety protocols, but they weren't on the court. The team says they are doing return to competition conditioning. Still, the Suns with a decisive win. 106-89 is the final. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers officially releasing wide receiver Antonio Brown after he threw his helmet, took off his jersey, and ran off the field during Sunday's game against the Jets. According to Brown and his attorney, he was fired after being forced to play with an ankle injury. The team says Brown was cleared to play and did not mention the injury during the game, adding they have asked him to be seen by a team's doctor 3 times since the game, but says he has not done it. Trending now, a toddler gets a royal response from Windsor Castle.
2-year-old Jelaine Sutherland dressed as the Queen for Halloween, complete with her family's corgis right there. Jelaine's mom sent a picture to Windsor Castle and got a response from a lady in waiting calling the outfit splendid, saying the Queen was pleased with the photo.
So cute. All right, there's the next 7 days here for you. Temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s, or first 70s of the year tomorrow. And early morning temperatures getting a little milder too, so not so cold in the mornings as we head through the weekend.
Jimmy Kimmel's next.